Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well, and it's great to see you all watching today. Welcome to the third episode of Digni System Crash. We couldn't do a show last week, unfortunately, because everyone confirmed too late. And by the time they did, I canceled the show, but it's perfectly fine. We've got a full panel for today's show. In fact, we had a panel of 7. We were actually overcrowded, folks. It's either no one turns up or everyone turns up. That's content creation for you folks. But don't worry, I'm going to welcome this wonderful panel with us today. A panel of 6. Hugo's going to be with us for the first hour. Then he's going to get some shut-eye, and we'll sub him in with Dash Attack. And I know Byron might not be able to be on for the full 2 hours. It depends on his schedule. It's great to see you guys. How's everyone doing?
My lip is a little numb, but
all well.
Doing good.
I'm still alive.
Upright and breathing.
Excellent. Most excellent. Ronnie, I can tell you this because Ronnie popped in just before we started. Ronnie has an AI bot assistant who we can hear perfectly, but Ronnie, you sound slightly low.
I sound low. Well, Reggie, say hi while I goose up my volume.
Good evening, Digni and chat. Thanks for having us aboard tonight.
Hey, Jose, how does it feel to have a clanker on the panel?
Jesus Christ. God help us all.
Right. The network and its predecessor, who we can't name for legal reasons, can really unleash all sorts of stuff. But before we catch up with the panel, we're going to catch up with the chat. It's great to see Ronnie. It's great to see Jose. It's great to see Tor. I call him Tor, but he's at Glitch Hunter. It's yes, I had half the chocolate. I'm not a thieving cunt. You're a thieving cunt. Don't call me a thieving cunt. I'm having half the chocolate. I'm speaking to my father. Don't worry.
Oh, I thought you guys were gonna divide Candace Owens in two.
No. If I sounded bipolar just a minute ago, folks, my father came into the room and condemned me for having half of the After 8 mints when I'm supposed to have half of all the food. The agreement. But
so it's like a divorce.
Yeah, we both fucking piss each other off. But it's good to see me. It's good to see Hugo, and it's great to see other Jose's twin. Isoj, it's backwards for Jose. And we've caught up with it's great to see is that Mad Dog? It's everyone's ats, folks. So if your ats have nothing to do with your actual name, then I apologize. But it's great to see Triton as well. If you haven't already, folks, like the stream, share the stream. Donations are always welcome. A little thing before we catch up with the panel. Tomorrow, we're going to have not another episode of System Crash, but we're going to have a pilot episode of Digni's Thursday Night Throwdown. Unfortunately, the 40K Empress's schedule is so fucking packed that she cannot commit to Thursdays anymore. I'm going to fill in for the short term, and hopefully I'll be able to convince my guest, if not every Thursday, every second Thursday, every fortnightly Thursday, to host his own damn show, which will make him bank. Okay? It'll make him bank. If people love Dez's videos, they would love a Dez live streaming show. And so would everyone else, especially those who would be much more able and willing to be on it. And it's great to see Dash Attack. Dash Attack's going to sub in for St. Hugo as we pass the first hour, so it's great to see him there. He's now at Dash Attack instead of at Resengan 9000 Triple T. Inspired you to call it that the first time. It's a good job no one took at Dash Attack. In the same way, no one took the dignified cartoon gentleman. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I appreciate all of you for being here. We're going to start off with Byron. How have you been, my good man?
Been doing all right, sir. Just got back last week from vacation out in Wisconsin. The last week has been largely for me, busy on helping a couple of colleagues of mine doing some editing on short stories that they're throwing together for an anthology collection that I'm not particularly keen on because it's science fiction, and I've written a few science fiction stories, but in this case, they asked if I would serve as an assistant editor, which I'm fine with. But I couldn't contribute to it because I don't write a lot of sci-fi myself.
Alrighty then. Hey, get back to work, Byron. Write me articles for me to read.
Oh yeah, and I've been working on that as well. Looking through to see what to do at a deeper dive on for some of the previously covered topics on the network.
Byron made a 4,000-word essay on how a black woman is crazy. I'm like, wow, man, that's incredible.
Damn,
we're
did
only-
he date one or something?
What was that, Triton?
I said, did he date one?
No.
No, I did a slightly psychoanalytical process and evaluation of Candace Owens' nonsense.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
Over 4,000 words, Triton. That's incredible. We're only 1 like away from 10, folks. Let's jack up those numbers, okay? If we can jack up those numbers, then Dash can jack off a member of this panel.
With craziness, he can add 4,000 more words to that.
Oh no. If we put all of Byron's articles together, it'll somehow be a 6 million word article. But what about you, Hugo? How have you been since we last had a good talk?
Oh, well, so far. Busy with Christmas stuff with the kids. Today, for example, we decorated the tree and there was a class Christmas party at school of my older one. So, yeah, currently mostly family stuff.
How diverse is your kid's school?
Another time, perhaps.
See, look, he's so depressed that should give you your answer, folks. What
But
about you?
no one tried to.
I live in Minnesota, so you can imagine.
Oh boy!
Huh.
Oh boy! Your kids are surrounded by cashew heads.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, yeah, Byron is based in Minnesota. Poor bastard. But what about you, Triton? How have you been?
I've been good. Today I did some landscaping work as well as I've also been doing my streams, longer streams, actually getting my numbers back up on the channel. So that's been good. It's been nice having a computer back. So I've been, just doing podcasting and stuff and also doing work IRL as well.
Well, that's good to know, Triton. Hopefully it keeps you busy and, keep on going, keep on
also
growing.
Covered the legendary Pierce Morgan versus Nick Fuentes debate. It was a really funny debate.
Oh boy.
That was
Pierce
really
Morgan
Nick
versus
really
who?
left him speechless too. Pierce did not know what to do after that.
My favorite is the development that Piers Morgan is a cuck right after the interview.
No. You guys don't understand. Pierce Morgan hacked dead children's phones. That's why he left the UK to go to the US. Don't get me started on that cocksucker, okay? Because I went on a rant about it on Tuesday's network show with John. The only reason Pierce Morgan became friends with Donald Trump in America was because he hacked dead children's phones. Okay? How about you, Jose? How are you?
Well, I've been doing pretty good. I was sort of scarce yesterday. I was out with my girlfriend last night while yourself and John sort of held the fort with Happy Hour, also known as the What the Hell is this crazy bitch saying this week show. So I'm back in the mix. I'm doing pretty good. Just took care of some work, took care of some business, and I managed to make it home in time for the show. So we're good to go. I just, look, you guys only have to deal with one crazy black lady. I live in Atlanta. They're all around me.
Oh
okay?
My goodness. Jose lives in the same city as Atreus. They might have drove past each other without knowing. So Jose, if you ever see a white Ford Mustang from the mid 2010s, that's Atreus's car.
Well, I mean, I do hope Atreus drives better than Melt is live for my sake.
Probably not. But what's better than having one girlfriend, folks? It's having two girlfriends. Glitch Hunter, Torin, or as I like to call him, Tor, has two girlfriends who are bisexual.
Wow.
We managed to learn this on Triton's Sunday Network show, and we managed to turn it into a tangent while talking about Micron abandoning cheap RAM for AI. My goodness, someone's getting rammed in that relationship. It's great to see you, Tara, and I hope you're doing well. Just like it's great to have DjRonnieG on, his debut on the network with his clanker assistant.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good. You see,
Is my
folks,
audio is my audio better?
Yes,
Yes,
we
it
can
actually
hear you.
is better.
Since
Cool,
our
thank you.
last encounter, Ronnie, my hearing and my sight have utterly collapsed. Folks, just to let everyone know, Ronnie's in New York, so the fact that he's still alive is a testament to his abilities.
This
You
is true.
it's got to keep your head on a swivel. And luckily, I only take this subway for 2 stops to get to my place of work. If I had to go more stops, it might be another story.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Literally, Ronnie lives in a city led by a guy who was connected to guys who caused the towers to collapse.
Look, I left the Bronx a long time ago, and it's the best decision I ever made.
Indeed. And folks, if Atlanta is better than New York, then how bad is New York?
Yeah, I mean, I got bricked out of freaking Wendy's. We always bring it up.
Ooh.
Yeah, he did. It's
Like
it's a
brick,
great,
like a brick through the window, or brick from one side to the other side of
No,
the
a
establishment?
black guy threw a brick at me because he had a tantrum in front of other black Wendy's employees. And
Ooh.
when he realized that I was filming, just in case, he decided to strike one of the women or children present. He came back and threw a brick at me. He had terrible aim. He only hit the bottom of my hand.
What
And to
is
make
Unfortunately,
your
he blocked it.
assaults and crimes at Wendy's in Atlanta? Do you remember shortly after the riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin, back in 2020, when some jackass got hauled out of his car in a Wendy's drive-through in the
and they
middle of the
set
night?
Wendy's on fire in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell?
Well, folks, to make the story funnier, I replaced Black Guy with Atreus, and that's the reason Atreus is never on the network. It's because he threw a brick at Jose. Okay.
Oh
But it's great to have you here, Ronnie. It's great to have everyone here. We've got 4 topics for today's show, 4 topics in 2 hours. We got 2 topics related to censorship, 1 topic regarding the Game Awards honoring a liar, and the final topic is about a radical, so radical that she's radicalizing moderates in beanies. So if you haven't already, folks, like the stream, share the stream. I would say donations are always welcome. However, we're not monetized, okay? The aim is to get to 500 subs by the end of next year, not this year. We're not getting it this year. And to get to 3,000 hours by next September. We're about a third of the way through, so it should be easy, but you never know with YouTube and its algorithmic suppression. So the first topic we're going to write down for 13 minutes and 45 seconds. There we go. First topic is in regards to Elon Musk taking on the European Union over a mass censorship fine. This is the first of 2 censorship topics, folks. And just to lay the groundwork on this situation, one of the most egregious institutions in the Western world is the European Union, right? It's like Hotel California. You can check in, but you can never leave. And even if you can leave, they'll make it very, very difficult for you to go. The UK's exit from the EU is living proof of that. But recently, after months of indications and suppressions, the EU has finally taken the step towards fining not just Elon Musk, but the X organization well over 100 million euros. I have to share my screen to provide the exact amount. But yeah, it's a big fine. Okay, it's 120 million euro fine for allegedly breaching the terms of the EU's Unified Digital Services Act, which is a very long, complicated piece of legislation that will hopefully be destroyed by the second topic's countermeasure to that. But we'll get to that a little later, because I like visual examples a lot more than verbal ones, especially when I'm talking to Americans. Sorry to be, a bit of a digger in regards to that situation.
What?
Go on. Go on.
Oh, no,
Okay, here we are.
No, I said digger, Jose.
Oh, okay. My hearing's not too good either.
Yeah. But this is courtesy of Basil the Great, who says he's British, but let's actually check. Let's check. Where's Basil actually?
I love that this is now a thing for us.
Yeah. Okay, it's the UK, okay? And it hasn't got the shield. If it's got the shield, right, assume it's Indian. Just assume.
I know, I've got the shield because I pirate games.
Well, you look Indian. But courtesy of Basil the Great, quote, Elon Musk goes to war with the EU. It sounds like a YouTube title. Is this hypnotic? Is this hypnotic? Making an X post?
This male billionaire goes to war with the EU.
Yeah,
crap.
this
I was wanted to
male
say the same.
gamer. What was that?
Just wanted to say the same. So
Yes,
with
there we go.
crap.
But I'll just provide context, and then we'll get panel perspectives. Quote, the European Union has imposed a fine on X of 120 million euros, which is about 130, 140 million US dollars, for allegedly breaching the terms of the Digital Services Act. The act is form. The act is form of censorship. You are Indian, because you can't spell properly.
Oh, shit.
But the act
I
is
have read
a
through
form.
everything of the DSA, by the way, and everything attached. It's dark.
Very dark. You see, folks, Hugo is the most positive German we can find on the internet. Just to let everyone know. But the act is a form of censorship giving the European Union power over what its users can post and see, but Elon is not backing down. He posted in response, quote, the, quote, EU, unquote, quote, imposed this crazy fine, not just on X, but also on me personally, which is even more insane. Therefore, it would seem appropriate to apply our response not just to the EU, but also to the individuals who took this action against me, unquote. The EU woke Stasi, you don't have to add woke to fucking everything, okay? Just EU Stasi will be fine. Commissars are about to understand the full meaning of this Streisand effect. And this is, of course, the timeline of events that brought us to this period. It goes back years, but here's a nice little thumbnail picture, folks. Elon Musk praying in front of an EU flag. Okay, doesn't quite have the desired effect, but this is what's going to happen, folks. Onwards into the future. All right, we are going to see more efforts to crank up censorship absolutely everywhere. You take that back. You take that back, Tor. Hypnotic is not a fraud. Smash JT is a fraud, but Hypnotic is not. Okay. In fact, they're the same person. They are. They're actually the same person. But let's get
who is the chair?
Yes. We're going to start off with St. Hugo because he's based in Germany, the superpower of the EU, you know. The more things change, the more they stay the same, ladies and gentlemen. But Hugo, what do you make of this this censorship fine?
Well, it was a stupid move, especially considering that for Musk, this is like the penalty is a package of milk. Suffer. I mean, but it was enough to get his attention and the crowd coming with it, and that is in the end a good thing. how to put this? If Hitler and Stalin would make a fusion dance, you would get Ursula von der Leyen. It is
Wait,
that
was that
bad.
a person's name or a swear word in German?
Dumb cunt that used to get fucked in barns in younger years.
Okay, that's one. That's a rabbit hole crazier. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole crazier than that one time Torrin explained his 2 girlfriends. This is literally turning into a Family Guy skit show. But please continue, Hugo.
Seems like Ryan's jealous of Torrin.
No, I'm
Well,
not
the thing
jealous.
is-
His girlfriends are bisexual. Ugh. But what about you, Hugo?
The bisexual thing or the actual topic?
I mean, you can give your views on bisexuality if you want, but in regards to the topic,
Yeah. Well, one thing a lot of people don't actually know, and I wanted to point out, the part where you vote for something EU related as a citizen is the parliament, which
Yeah.
can do jack shit.
Mhm.
Those who make the laws is the commission, and they can basically do whatever they want without much opposition, especially not in a democratic way.
Oh no,
So,
of course not. Of course not.
by all means, the EU is no different from the Taliban, but with less guts. They didn't fight their way to the top. They went a bureaucratic way,
Well, I'll
which is
tell you
even
this,
more insulting.
Hugo. I'll tell you this, Hugo, and this is probably going to cause a bloody controversy. The network is pro-Taliban. That's why we're getting rid of our only woman host. But what about you, Byron? What are your thoughts on the situation? We're not getting rid of her. She just can't make it anymore.
Right.
But what
First of
about you,
all, I
Byron?
disavow, and I am not pro-Taliban, so screw all that.
Boo! Boo! Your daughter shouldn't have an education. She was
Yeah.
a man of a job.
Okay, I'm going to sidestep that nonsense. With regards to this endeavor on part of the EU, I find it fascinating that a multi-governmental bureaucracy that has no authority over an American citizen like Elon Musk or a multinational corporation like the X Corporation is attempting to levy a fine for violating some bureaucratic rule that they do not have to answer to, since the company is incorporated in the United States. They operate in numerous EU countries, yes, but the EU
Ofcom
itself
tried the same shit, remember?
was up.
Ofcom tried the same shit, remember? A few months back.
Yes, and that blew up in their faces as well. I imagine this will also blow up in their face because it brings into question, all right, this EU, this bureaucratic union of numerous countries, nations, each individual member nation maintains its sovereignty. Yes?
I wouldn't
No.
even say that. I wouldn't
No.
even say that.
There is absolutely non-sovereignty for any member nation. Not even
Is that-
Norway, which is not part of the EU but has a trade deal. So they have
that-
absolutely no say, but have to align with all bullshit that is.
All right. So, that being the
There
way,
are no sovereign countries. Make me put this perfectly clear.
They have the same rights as American states have in relation to the federal government.
so they
Way
so
less.
they have sort of a supremacy clause that's in their charter.
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Sovereignty.
That's why I'm asking.
that's all right.
You have the ability as a member state country to pay your way out of obligations.
Okay,
And
now
it's very expensive.
does the EU then have regulatory authority over private employers or corporations?
Yes.
It does. Okay. Um, Regulatorily, this is going to be a hard one for Elon to ignore then, given that he does operate, or rather X does operate under that banner. I would say his next step would be, at least from my perspective, to say, okay, we can always remove operability to the EU and its various nation states. Have a good day, and by the way, that means you will be slaves to Google. So take your choice. Either fuck off with this fine, or make yourselves further slaves to Google, because you're not going to have us.
It's the big red button, folks. But what the EU and also the UK do in order to get these fines to mean something is that they seize assets. So any assets that Elon has in the European Union will get seized to pay this fine, right? Very similar. When Ofcom did a similar thing a few months back, on a publicity level, it blew up in their faces. But what did it lead to? It led to the UK government seizing as many of Elon's UK assets as possible to pay for the fine. So they pay for it. Not only that, they will see the EU, especially, less so for the UK, but the EU will literally use the proceeds of seized assets to fund opposition groups. That's exactly what they're doing with the Ukrainians. All Russian assets that were in EU countries that were seized are now being sold, and the proceeds are going to the Ukrainian war effort, right? And I'm sure the same thing will happen to a lesser extent, in that the EU will seize as many of Elon's assets in the bloc as possible to pay for this fine, and that fine, the proceeds of which will go to campaign groups and pressure groups that are anti-Elon Musk. On a publicity level, you guys are absolutely right. It blows up in their faces, right? But on a financial level, it's designed, it's purpose-built to drive people who could stand in the way of these blocks out of the blocks, so that the only people in them are people who cannot resist. And if you can't resist, well, you can be tyrannized. Is that a word, tyrannized? If it isn't, I've coined a new term for something. But
That's why I
Anyway.
don't think Elon can resist.
One more thing I want to throw
go
in
on,
there.
Hugo. Go on, and then we'll get Triton's perspective after. Go ahead.
It's the Streisand effect all over again. So basically, this fine is peanuts for Musk, but it's great advertisement. So he can pay it, even post it on X, stating, yeah, I paid it because fuck it, great advertisement. We can plainly put it out like that, along with the other posts he already did on the matter. And where the EU has really not a good position in anything going forward when it comes to Musk, and that is a good thing. It's not like I trust the guy, but he is at least a wild card.
He is, and I think
There's
we should support wild cards, and we should also point out, ladies and gentlemen, it's hard to bring context to this without referencing our second topic, which is about the United States' efforts to render all these fines null and void, protected by American law, right, for American people. But what I will say is, if that does come into effect, the EU will completely shift its allegiances to China. Completely, right? They'll make peace with the fucking Russians, and the EU bloc will ally with the BRICS bloc against the United States of America, whether it's overtly or covertly. Sorry to be geopolitical about this, folks, but the Europeans love censoring people. So what about you, Triton? What do you make of what you've seen and heard so far?
I feel like Elon's gonna have to bend the knee just because these EU people do have more power. It's like, yeah, Elon has X and all that, but these people have money across the entire world, and they're a bunch of nations. Elon's just a guy, and not only that, but Elon, like, he talks a good fight, but he never really fights the good fight. He's just a talker. I see more talk from him than actual action, and I think he's gonna end up bending the knee to the
Well-
EU and losing this, and then
Well-
the EU is going to end up censoring X.
By bending the knee, Triton refers to the fact that Elon can't stop the fine, right? His assets are already seized. It's not like if, say, for example, Jose got a parking fine and he has to pay for it that way. That's not how it operates, right? When you get fined by these blocks, for lack of a better term, they will seize the assets, your assets, within their territories, and then sell them off to pay for the fine.
So
But
what you're
Jose-
saying is I need to piss the EU off so that they'll seize my mother.
Yes.
That's an asset of mine.
Yes, but
Yeah,
she has to be in an
basically.
EU country for her to be seized. But Jose, what do you make of this whole situation?
Well, you can't pronounce EU without just calling it ew, which is what it is. They're disgusting and they're pigs. The thing is, this is a whole thing that has really caused a lot of problems for the European countries within the EU because nobody sort of elected this body. It's sort of like your proto World Economic Forum. These people, they're twats, and I'm sure I violated German law again by saying that. I don't know if any of you, the rest of you, have ever gotten that email from X. Is that a post you made may have violated German law? And you know what? I'm going to print that out and wipe my ass with it and send it to Germany. And they can do what they will with it. But the way that I look at it is,
Want me to hang it someplace special?
send it someplace special. Didn't you say the guy likes like animal interactions and stuff like that? He might actually be into that if I send him a letter that I've wiped my ass with. But
damn.
Elon Musk, even if he doesn't want to bend the knee, the problem is that he still seems to have people at X who are politically on that side of the aisle that will enforce that, and they'll use, we were just following the orders of the rule of European Union law, so it's fine that we censored this person or that person. All of a sudden I say something and I'm suppressed, or Triton says something and he's suppressed, and so on and so forth, because that's how they do things. Is Elon has that plausible deniability of, it wasn't me, I believe in free speech. Yes, but you still have many assholes that are under your employ at X that do not, and this has been a constant problem ever since you took the company over. It's also not lost on me that we never got an official announcement of whoever or whatever replaced Linda Yaccarino after she resigned, because she got butthurt that that Grok was doing an anti-Semitism or 2 or 3 or 400.
What was that? What was that? 2.0 or 3.0?
I think it was Grok 3.0 who gave detailed instructions on how to break into Will Stansel's house at night.
Oh my
and
God.
deliver sweet loving to
Oh
him.
yeah, I remember that. In fact, the person that asked that ended up being suspended.
I wanted to answer this point from Equilibrium. That's not how national fines work, right? Elon has no choice but to pay the fine. He's not paying it in the traditional sense. He's not
They're
paying.
just seizing whatever he owns that happens to be over there.
Exactly.
I mean, they can seize a Tesla dealership. In that regard, they can seize Tesla dealerships because he owns them, essentially, in effect.
It's very similar to when the Europeans find the Russians, right?
It's like when you don't pay your taxes in America and they take your house.
Yeah, it's like that. That's what they mean by fine, and in this instance. And could you imagine that though, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that in the United States?
Yeah, but my other concern with this that I got to let you guys know is, my concern is, when we say, if Elon doesn't play ball, they'll be beholden to Google. That's not a win for anybody living in Europe. That is a loss on all fronts. And Europe, and by the way, the EU is not afraid of that, because YouTube will do what the EU asks. Google will do what the EU asks. Facebook, Meta will do what the EU asks, and they'll sort of work in those parameters, and those people will absolutely be censored. Not to mention Facebook and YouTube and Google will censor Americans that have violated EU law. This is how you get these unelected assholes telling you what you can and can't say and what you can and can't do. That's why the importance for alt tech continues.
And the reason for that is, folks, outside the United States and potentially China, Red China, the European Union holds the most assets under Google and X and Meta's control. Outside of those other two countries, it's the third It's the third great stronghold,
Mhm.
and those companies aren't willing to leave the EU countries, right?
Yeah.
Especially with Google, because Google have their European operations in Ireland and the Republic of Ireland because it's a tax haven, and they ain't leaving that.
And by the way, I do have to point out the reason that they're so salty about this is because they realize the power of social media. They realize the power of a YouTube video. They realize the power of a post on X, and they realize that it's taken power away from them. They can throw literally the entire populations, the entire white population of Europe in prison, and still they will get all of the the blowback because of people on social media. So it does sort of affect their power base. It affects their influence. They want
That
nothing but
is
people.
the reason why all these censorship laws come to existence now,
Exactly.
and that at an extreme pace by now.
Exactly. They
And,
want to control the
the
opposition
mood
party.
is shifting, and they know that too.
Yeah.
Not just on conservatives, but on progressive sides as well.
Well, I see
Because
that.
most
I-
of the leftists here are not blue-haired nose ring mafia types.
Exactly.
They're actually actual leftists from the European perspective. But thank you for your perspective, Jose. We're going to leave our guest's perspective, last but by no means least, before we move into the next topic. Ronnie, you're about to get your own. New York's going to become the next London, baby. I'm telling you, you're in for one hell of a wild ride. What do you make of this whole situation?
Oh yeah, briefly about New York. I mean, I am concerned about being reverse colonized, but I try to have hope. I try to think about what I can do. And well, we'll see. Time will tell, right, guys? But with the X thing, I mean, look, during the 2024 election, it was refreshing that X was being run the way it was being run, because I mean, I remember 2020. I remember the BS, how I couldn't even take that post with the junta, how do I say his name backwards? Well, the son of the president, the old one, right? And like, I literally would send that video in a DM on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, and it would tell me, you can't send this. This is inappropriate content. And then I would take something that's like really inappropriate. You can imagine there's all kinds of stuff on the internet, and it would go right through. Suddenly it's not inappropriate. So we
Oh,
knew
the
what
Hunter
their
Biden
reasoning-
stuff. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Hunter Biden, right?
100%,
Yeah, they made him a
yeah.
protected class.
Yep, and that was BS, because it was like just so obvious that they were manipulating the, trying to manipulate the election, or at least people's ability to form an opinion during that period. And so it's ironic, funny how during 2020, suddenly people are all upset that X is being run by a billionaire who's promoting this side. It's like, well, tough shit, guys. I wouldn't even say the tables returned, because people were still free to say whatever they wanted on the other side. So that was refreshing. But yes, there's definitely some cracks in the current iteration of X. It's better. It's an improvement. And I think Reggie probably could say it better than I can say it, because, he's much more succinct when I tell him to be succinct. Other times he's very long-winded, Hey, Reggie, what do you think, buddy?
A platform that finally lets regular people speak without a federal hand on the mute button is a step in the right direction.
Asterisk. And as you said, everything I just said is the asterisk that goes behind that.
Ronnie, I gotta ask you a question real quick. Does your Clanker partner, does he also have detailed instructions on how to enter Will Stansel's house uninvited and give him sweet love and like grok?
If he doesn't, I can get a local model to probably offer that. But you know how these things go. He's in fast mode right now, so he's gonna give us like really like probably bad answers. But you know how it is with AI. You got the fast mode, you got the slow mode.
All right. It's all right, Ronnie. I mean, if we can work out the kinks here and there, I'm replacing all you motherfuckers with these bots, okay? Okay, because what, guys? I've got the fucking material to base the bots off of you.
Here's the problem, Digni, though. You know, I know that you're in Israel and all, but they still won't give you any discounts on Shabbats. They won't.
They
won't.
Hey, look,
what is
it won't be don't worry, it's a Jew thing. Because I'm Jewish, remember. But the point is, Jose, it won't be a scheduling nightmare. And if you can't make a show because you're stuck in traffic or in a train crashed or something, I can just have a bot of you, right? Pre-programmed with all the things you usually say, especially the brick story. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the next topic. Oh Oh, an Iranian helicopter is flying above my house, so the missiles are being activated.
Oh boy.
The second topic I'll write down for 40 minutes dead, which is what I will be if Iron Dome doesn't work properly. The second topic is about Trump's Granite Act advances censorship's demise. Get it, folks? Advances.
Oh.
Advance with JD Vance, ladies and gentlemen. And what is the Granite Act? Well, Granite is short for a very long worded explanation. I'm just going to type it in, right? Granite Act. I use Bing because we don't like Google in Israel. I'm just going to share my screen real quick, courtesy of Bing's Copilot, which is a retarded version of Grok. There we go, folks. It's right here. The Granite Act, or Guaranteeing Rights Against Novel International Tyranny and Extortion. That is Granite. It's incredible the acronyms that Americans especially can come up with. It's unbelievable. But essentially, it's a proposed U.S. legislation aimed at empowering American citizens to sue foreign governments attempting to impose censorship upon. Okay, it's only 53 days in the making, so it is still in the process. But that I think that would be, if it were to be executed by the end of Trump's term, it would be his single greatest achievement. Don't worry, folks. Hugo wasn't coughing; he was laughing. That's what a German laugh sounds like.
Oh boy!
Because
that was German multitasking, laughing and coughing.
Yes, Germans are incredibly depressing people. But this is from Preston Byrne, who was recently on Smash JT show. What is it with Smash JT and getting lawyers on his show?
Because he's a Jew.
Oh, damn! Right out of the fucking gates, Triton. Out of the fucking gates there. But courtesy of Preston Byrne, quote, the Granite Act is simple. 1, foreign censorship threats / orders aren't enforceable in the U.S. 2, U.S. state agencies can't cooperate with those threats / orders. And 3, thermonuclear penalties for sending threats orders to the U.S. Foreigners can run their countries as they see fit. And there are other posts as well that really develop on the point. But I really do think this is the embodiment of the point, folks. And Triton, you mentioned those great group of people, but foreign censorship, which means all of them, including Israel, which means this will probably never get enforced.
Oh boy.
Yep, another failed Trump promise.
But I think I don't know. I'd say in the title it's Trump's Granite Act, but I don't think he was the one who proposed it. In fact, the proposition of this proposed legislation has been quite the mystery. So let's start off with Jose. What do you make of this situation so far?
Well, first off, obviously this whole thing to try to circumvent the EU is probably why Elon Musk decided to start playing nice with Trump again to begin with. I don't think it had anything to do with Charlie Kirk's passing. I think it was, I'm going to need to play nice with Trump in order to have an ally to sort of work against these things that are coming down the pipe. Secondly, this does appeal to Trump's vanity. For those who don't understand how Donald Trump operates, the man has never seen a lawsuit he didn't fall in love with. And if you say we're going to expand legislation so that you can sue the shit out of people that you weren't able to sue before, I mean, he probably came in his pants like 3 times once this legislation came out. But as Triton was saying, what's going to happen is, let me in, it's BB. And then, for the 80th time, BB comes to America and Trump reverses course on just about every possible base thing he could do, which is what we've seen over and over and over and over again. The man spends more time in America than he does Israel. It fucking makes me sick.
I just want to make it clear to everyone here, folks. The mindset that Preston is putting forward is the Europeans can have their own censorship laws if they want to, right? But the United States will not have Europeans or any other foreign nation or group essentially criminalize Americans for speaking their mind. And I think that's very courageous.
Well, there's one other thing that has to go along with this. I mean, it's all great that you want to pass an act like this, but essentially what it boils down to is still at the end of the day, we need the one thing that the conservatives seem to have completely forgotten about since they gained power. Well, they've forgotten about just about every promise that they made once they've regained power. But it's nice that they're more worried about Saint Nick on Piers Morgan and getting mad at Tucker Carlson and all this other stupid garbage. But what they didn't do is deal with the Section 230 reform, which is something they were crying about when the Dems were in power, but I've heard jack about since they've regained power. The Section 230 reform needs to happen because of the fact that a platform is not a publisher. That effectively stops all of this deplatforming dead in its tracks from YouTube, from Meta, from X, from all these places. That needs to be reformed. That needs to be clarified. Once that's clarified, we're good. But they don't give a damn about that because they're too busy now expanding, the terms of the censorship. But because here's the thing: even the right is expanding censorship because they want to be able to, because Mark Levin's 4'3" ass is mad that Nick Fuentes said some spicy things on television. All right, so that's what that's about. So it's always, well, we got to expand the anti-Semitism laws because that's what leads to extremism and blah 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 blah. And it's also tiresome. I don't give a damn left or right. Just shut the hell up. Let me say what I want to say, which is protected by my First Amendment right to speech, and get the hell out of my way.
Now, folks, you may be wondering why there's a giraffe on the screen, but this censorship stuff really can hit the negatives. So here's a giraffe.
Oh yeah. I just thought Tim Walz was going to jerk the giraffe off too, just like he does horses.
Oh damn!
Hey, the giraffe is going to call Tim Walz.
We can talk recipes if you want.
See, look at that! Look at that giraffe! Look at that baby.
Hugo, I'm surprised they didn't make me eat a giraffe. I used to work for Toys R Us, and eventually Toys R Us, of course, folded. I'm surprised they didn't cook and eat Jeffrey the giraffe after that company went out of business. Actually, I didn't work for Toys R Us. I worked at the one in Atlanta. We called it BB Toys.
Oh my goodness! It's Ilhan Omar.
Oh shit! Actually, that's unfair to the giraffe. The giraffe is probably less likely to commit incest than Ilhan Omar.
It's beat me to the joke. God damn it!
It's Afghanistan's Minister of Agriculture, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness! But Byron, since you're here, what do you make of Trump's Granite Act advancing censorship's demise?
Well, while I am certainly in favor of throwing up any and every available guardrail against censoring people's available expression, I'm not certain that this would pass in the House or the Senate. You've got enough obvious folks in both the House and the Senate who owe their allegiances and alliances to people who are not even in their own districts, let alone this country. So while I'm in favor of defending free expression, I don't know as this is necessarily going to get the kind of votes that it would need to pass in the bicameral chamber.
I mean, look at this though, Byron. Because Preston is an American lawyer, so he knows how the legal system works over there, right? He's basically boiling this down for the general audience. Foreign censorship threats, okay, against that aren't enforceable in the U.S. U.S. state agencies can't cooperate with them, and there are thermonuclear penalties for sending such
threats. And what I'm saying is, while this would be great for the protection of individuals, the way that this is going to end up being parsed out by lawyers in the EU and in those foreign nations, they'll probably say, well, you can't enforce against these nation states and their legislation and their laws, ergo we can ignore this. Again, it would be great to protect individuals, but once it gets to the point where okay, the individuals or private citizens of the United States can try to sue any regulatory body or any company that is held in a foreign operations center. Well, they're going to say, well, no, we don't have to adhere to your rules.
Byron, you just brought up a good point, and I just forgot about this. Digni, you may remember we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The guy who appealed to some, I guess EU has an oversight committee in terms of that YouTube is required to tell you what you were removed for, or something like that. And they mandated, basically the EU sided with him, and they had to reinstate his channel, and YouTube just basically blew their nose with it and threw it to the side. And YouTube, that's one of those reverse situations where Google says, well, we're an American company, so we don't have to do what they say, so we're not reinstating your channel.
Exactly. It'll allow a guardrail or a protection for a private citizen, but the private citizen's speech is hosted on the conglomerate's platform.
Also need to consider, folks, that a law is only as strong as its enforcement, and that's why the third element, thermonuclear penalties. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to invade these countries? Are you going to Venezuela them? Or are you drop thermonuclear weapons on them?
The only way I'd be excited for this is if it included Israel. Like concrete, like Israel is included in this, and we know it won't happen.
100%. But
This is going down the road of kids play. Like,
no,
I made up shit. No, I made up more shit. I'm invincible, but I have the imaginary dagger of stabbing into invincibility, and
you're making me think of an episode of Gravity Falls with the dragons.
It's just the nicest way to put this is adorable.
This post, folks, is essentially communism. It's fine on paper, and most people don't even believe that anymore, but it's shit in practice. Maybe that's why it's only good for toilet paper, right? Because when he says foreign censorship, that means every nation. That means every government. That means in a sense, that means the U.S. will have legislated for the entire world.
By the way, I just want to also point out this: even if it gets passed, it'll be shot down by a federal judge or immediately struck down with a leftist executive order the minute they regain power. Anyway,
and it's something people need to understand. We're looking at this situation with high-minded idealism, but it's what's been going on that matters most. And what is essentially going to happen is that the United States will condemn these other countries, these foreign countries, for censoring Americans. But at the end of the day, they won't rock the boat, so nothing bad or negative will happen, right? I can't imagine.
Words, let me put it this way. The Toothpick Act. Free unicorns for everyone.
But what about Americans that censor other Americans for foreign nations? Because that happens all the time. Would they be able to still get away with that?
Yes, Triton's right. That's the problem. Is again, we're being censored here in the U.S. by the private companies. That's why we definitely need that 230 reform that they refuse to do.
And that's the loophole. That's the loophole right there. But what about you, Ronnie? What do you make of all this?
After I find a mute button, I would just say, yeah, I mean, you guys brought up a few of the unintended consequences, and whether that is as simple as a trade war or something else, it's like, it sounds like you guys said it sounds good on paper, and it probably looks good on toilet paper if you get the right type of, But, I like to see something, well, I don't know if I'd like to see something done. See, that's the thing, like, I've learned over the years that the first reflex that many have is I would like to see something done about some injustice. But oftentimes it's better that it's hands off. So sometimes when people complain that something isn't being done, sometimes that's fine by me. It's like, actually, this is probably preferable to the alternative. So maybe, at worst, this does nothing. But, Trump being the kind of guy he is, he might still be like, I did this, and take credit for doing something that I don't know if it's going to really have a positive effect. But maybe it has some teeth in it.
But the United States, let's face it, folks, the United States is not going to break off diplomatic relations or trading relations or military relations with a country, say, like the United Kingdom. Let's use the UK as an example, right? Because the UK recently left the EU, but to make the transition as seamless as possible, despite the fact that it took years, most of UK legislation is in line with European legislation, right? It makes the breakaway cleaner and quicker, but doesn't mean it's an actual breakaway. Okay. The US and the UK, in terms of trade, in terms of a military alliance, in terms of foreign relations, they're as thick as thieves. They're like, father and son, to use a euphemism in that regard. Okay. They're not going to break off relations because the British government want to censor Americans. They're not, right? Because if they did, if the United States did break off diplomatic relations, broke trade relations, got rid of all their military bases, sent the troops back home, do you know what the UK is going to do? They're going to realign themselves to the East, to Russia, to China, to India, to South Africa and Brazil. And I know the UK doesn't look that tough on paper, folks. The City of London is the financial capital of the world. And that is a great strategic thing for those Eastern Bloc countries to have. I know South Africa and Brazil are not in the East, but you know what I mean, okay? The Americans are not going to cut off their allies because their allies want to censor American citizens, right? It doesn't make sorry to bring it back to geopolitics. It doesn't make geopolitical sense, ultimately. But we've only got a few minutes until Hugo gets swapped out with Dash. So, Dash, if you're watching, prep yourself to pop in here. And Hugo, why don't you tell all the people where they can find you, and then you can pop off.
Well, I do have a channel. Currently, I'm not putting out anything relevant out there. Last thing was from a modded Skyrim playthrough of a Resident Evil mod, which is still kind of cool because the whole game is remade within Skyrim. The Evil Mansion, highly recommended. It's a classic, been around for a while. Else, I'm mostly focused on everything with my kids and Christmas. That just takes priority right now.
Oh, absolutely. Could you imagine a German Christmas, folks? It's like, son, I can't do a German accent, but son, what do you want for Christmas? I want coal. You cannot have coal.
Don't you guys
sound like a Russian, mate?
Hugo, don't you guys still have the Krampus over there?
The what?
The Krampus, the like evil Santa Claus for bad kids.
Father, I would very much like to have an ashtray, but could you make one for me without so many ashes already in it?
Oh, no.
Oh, my. But Dash is here, Hugo. We appreciate you for being here. Thank you very much for being here. And hopefully you have a good night's rest in the Democratic Republic of Germany.
Yeah. Will do.
Cold War hawks will get that reference, folks.
Oh,
but you're gonna have to head out, Hugo. It's the only way I can bring Dash in.
All right.
Take it easy, Hugo.
Thank you.
Later.
Good man. And just to let everyone know, the Democratic Republic of Germany was East Germany. It's good to have Dash here. Great to have you here, Dash. We appreciate you for being here. And that's a great segue from our censorship topics to our, pop culture topic. And then after that, Moderate Beanie versus Black Radical.
Quick question, Dash. Since you showed up, my wife wanted to know, since she saw your avatar before she got going to pick up my son, if you had big pecs or small tits. Just wondering.
Big pecs. It's big pecs.
See, look, ladies and gentlemen, what she actually said, Dash, is, husband, keep that predator away from our children. Well, that's one way to divide the fucking show between the hours, isn't it? But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, 59 minutes and 59 seconds. If you haven't already, folks, like the stream, share the stream. I would say donations are always welcome, but we're not monetized, and if it keeps going like this, my God, we never will be. But we appreciate Dash for being here. He was here before the show started, and we appreciate him for being here, right now. So the third topic, ladies and gentlemen, is the Game Awards honors Todd Howard at The Liar, 16 times the lying, as Bethesda's legacy collapses. And you know, folks, during that honoring, and it's been hinted, during that honoring, I think Todd Howard is going to announce remasters or remakes for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. That's the rumor. Right? I can't get that verified, folks, but consider this. Xbox controls Bethesda and Obsidian, so it is theoretically. And remember, folks, Xbox outsourced the remake of Oblivion because they didn't trust Bethesda to do it.
Ouch.
boy.
Oh,
That's
my
why.
God.
Oh,
Very telling. And Jace, I imagine that we already know how you feel about this. You look like you just smelled a wet fart in the room.
I fucking hate Todd Howard, man. Like I said at last year's Game Awards, every time this asshole remakes Skyrim, he gets like 1 inch shorter. I can't wait because like by the time 2030, he'll be 4'2" or something like that.
oh! Did you see the memes when Troy Baker and Harrison Ford were on stage?
Yes, that's why I said that. That's when I was saying that.
This is good to see the Game Awards saying Thursday night the Game Awards welcomes legendary game creator Todd Howard from Bethesda to present one of the night's awards. I mean, presenting an award is an honor in that of itself, folks. Let's not get it twisted. This man has essentially made a career out of making different games from the same system for 20 years. From Morrowind to Starfield, it's the same. It's been the same engine.
I know this is crude, but am I the only one who thinks that Todd looks like he makes that same face in the cuck chair while big black dudes fuck his wife?
Damn. Let's ask Atreus.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry
Yeah,
to make
so,
Atreus the butt of every joke, but go on, Dan.
So I was wondering if you were planning this topic before or after Skyrim for Switch 2 got announced.
Actually, that's going to be a
And
topic
Todd Howard just got another inch shorter.
Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah, but Switch 2, the Switch 2 version got announced yesterday. And I upgraded it for free.
You're pre-ejaculating, Dash. We're either going to talk about that tomorrow with me and Des on this channel, because we can't do Thursday shows with the 40K Empress because she's being stretched.
Oh, I didn't mean to cannibalize a topic.
She's being stretched thinner than a lady among black people. But we can also bring it up on Friday. Okay, we can. Don't worry.
No, I'm
Okay,
sure
hold
like,
it in.
More interesting things. It's the day after the Game Awards, and we got Endymion coming, so there's going to be plenty to talk about. Not just the same old Skyrim meme we've been saying.
I feel so sorry for Galaxy, Zine, and Lumissa, who will embarrass themselves during that show. Maybe we just won't include them.
Oh boy.
Oh.
But we'll include Damien because I really like him. Not in that way. He's a fucking cartoon, okay? But, folks, you look at Todd Howard, right? This guy, many, many moons ago, 7, 8 years ago, lied to an entire generation of gamers when he presented Fallout 76, okay? When he presented that at Bethesda Con or whatever it was, that showcase, that was when game companies were starting to do their own showcases, and E3 was on its last legs. And it was like, Fallout 76, 16 times the detail and all that crap. Okay? And we can all agree that Fallout 76 is one of the worst games Bethesda has ever made.
I have never played it still.
Neither have I. Okay, and I played Cyberpunk at release.
I know the controversy. Some guy got permanently banned because he got banned for a hate crime because he told someone gays are not allowed here and then attacked him with a flamer, the flamethrower. But to be fair, I mean, if you were in a world that was perpetually stuck in the 1950s, that's actually just called roleplay.
He meant
True.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old joke. Hey, what do you call a bouncer at a gay bar? A flamethrower.
My goodness, ghouls, not gays. Ghouls aren't allowed here. My, oh my. But just
in
looking
fairness,
at the
though.
guy. Oh, go on,
I'm
Ronnie.
sorry. But in fairness, I mean, I've heard some things that sounded decent about Fallout 76. I never played it, but I hear you could explore vaults. That sounds kind of fun.
Well, it was the
cool.
additions after the fact. I mean, I love No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky allowed the concept of a redeemable game to exist, which I think is the greatest mistake to ever happen in the games industry, right? Remember in the past, with arcade games and early console games and systems, if you fucked up that game, right, there was no going back. The only way to correct it would be a complete recall to fix it and then re-release it, right?
Yep.
The concept
of
a redeemable.
These.
Oh, yeah, those cartridges, man. The only way to have the concept of a redeemable game, which is a game that released badly and got fixed later, thereby redeeming themselves and making a better game, is because of the digital era of gaming. No way you could have gotten away with that shit during the arcade era or with the early console gaming era. No way.
At least with No Man's Sky, they had the excuse of being a small team, and they are still giving that game support, and I commend them for it. But with CD Projekt Red, they had no fucking excuse.
Or Bethesda. Before, folks, we need to consider this because the landscape has changed a lot in nearly a decade, right? Before Fallout 76, Bethesda had one of the best reputations in gaming.
Oh, absolutely.
Fallout 4, I know a lot of people shit on Fallout 4. Fallout 4 was Game of the Year, right?
It's a complete game. Like, people's complaints about Fallout 4 are more like based on structure.
Dash, before Starfield, Bethesda's most profitable game was Fallout 4.
Really, not Skyrim, Fallout 4.
Yeah, people adore Skyrim because it had such a cultural impact, right? Because it was the embodiment of everyone wanted in a Bethesda game. Even with all of its re-releases, Skyrim has not made more money than Fallout 4. So that's just to let you guys know in that regard. And a lot of Skyrim players fucking hate that fact, which is why so many of them don't like Fallout 4. But we're going to get Jose's perspective first, then we're going to get Byron's.
I really can't stand Bethesda. I mean, I'm one of those people, like, I just feel like a lot of these developers that sort of came up in, sort of like the prime of gaming, whether it's Todd Howard, Hideo Kojima, all these guys, they are so fucking overrated. In my opinion, the games industry is what have you done for me lately? And Todd Howard hasn't done jack shit except continue to re-release and regurgitate the same games over and over and over again. Like for all the flack I give Square Enix for remaking games, this guy says, "Hold my soy latte," and redoes the same game 27 freaking times, and we're all supposed to freaking sit here and take it because Skyrim was a good game. Yes, Skyrim was a good game for its time. All right. And here's the problem. The man has not evolved an engine since then, because I played a few hours of Starfield, and that game, I literally could feel my soul leave my body.
It's the same game.
It was so boring. It was the most boring freaking game ever. And then they added, just added extra feminism within 5 minutes. Some fat black, possibly lesbian woman is finger wagging at you. I'm the boss. And I mean, you've got the never apologize for being a powerful woman mug that you just find out in the wild. It was so, but it wasn't even the DEI. The game was so boring that it was just like, oh my God, what even is this game?
I still don't understand why there weren't like alien characters, that it had to be all boring ass humans in the space.
Because it's reskin Fallout 4.
They said it gets great after about like 6 hours. And I'm like, I don't have 6 hours to play before this game starts getting quote unquote good. But the only reason you think it's good is because after the 6 hour point, your mind just breaks. and the Stockholm syndrome kicks in.
Guys, I actually like Starfield. Do you know why I like Starfield?
Yeah.
Because I like Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It's the same game.
I'd much rather play Fallout 4.
You know what it is with Todd Howard? Do you guys remember Zoolander, where Will Ferrell just snaps? He's like, "It's the same look. It's the same look. What's wrong with you people?"
I still need to see Zoolander.
He's got one game, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because he just remakes the same shit over and over again. And people are like, "This man is somehow some kind of video game god." I mean, I'm pretty sure he thinks he's video game god in his own mind. You think he looks in the mirror naked? He stares at his little tiny penis and goes, "It just works."
Well,
he tells himself that every morning.
Jace, I can tell you why. It's because, like, you know, they really they think he made Elder Scrolls what it is, like with the lore and how expansive the world is. Same thing with Fallout. And in fact, I didn't even know about Interplay until the Fallout TV series came out.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know if Fallout wasn't even Bethesda's game.
Well, the big problem with sort of Toddism is I think that was the point where the entire gaming industry pivoted to just copying each other's homework much more hardcore, because what Skyrim and Fallout and whatnot sort of led to is just every game for the next 5 years tried hella hard to be like a massive open world sandbox game. The problem is a lot of them didn't have any actual freaking content. So it's like, thank you, Todd. You made a game that was very buggy, by the way. I like Skyrim, but there were points when I got it when it was brand new where I had to wait a week or two for them to patch the freaking game because I ran into game crashing bugs on Xbox 360. That's how long ago Skyrim was basically relevant, and I got almost 400 hours clocked in the damn thing. But here's the problem with everything. Again, it led to this sort of stagnation of the games industry where everything had to be a Skyrim ripoff because everybody just wanted to make Skyrim, and it's like, oh my god, the
only tangible difference, guys, between Starfield and its predecessors was the fact that Obsidian got bought out by Xbox. Bethesda saw how the Outer Worlds' dialogue system actually worked and incorporated it into Starfield, right? So that's the only tangible difference. But let's get Byron's perspective, and then Triton's, and then we'll work our way down.
Well, I thank you for that opportunity, especially since I'm going to have to pretty much sign off after my bit here. I would just like to say first, Todd Howard is clearly a student of history in one regard. Skyrim is not the first time where we had this same game remade over and over again across multiple platforms or consoles, and yet continued to actually succeed. And I think you look back at this one example of going against the grain from what you said there, Digni, in that you can have a game that releases and is kind of a flop, but someone gave it a second chance, and he owes that to the folks at Capcom. I can't be the only person to remember that Street Fighter II, when it first came out on home consoles, for the Super Nintendo, it had all 6 of your attack buttons laid out on the controller, but Genesis players, or Mega Drive, depending on where you're from, it only having 3 buttons on its primary forward-facing controller, you had to press the start button to switch between punch or kick. Yet that game got re-released a couple of years, I think it was like a year and a half later, as Street Fighter II Turbo. They enhanced the speed, they enhanced the sound processing, and when Sega had put out its 6-button arcade controller, it was then adaptable to that control scheme. But not being satisfied with that cash grab, Capcom then came out with Street Fighter II Turbo Championship Edition for both consoles and the TurboGrafx 16.
There were 4 of them, Byron. There was Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Super Street Fighter 2, and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yes, Super. Yes, thank you. You beat me to it. So they do this cash grab of incremental improvements on consoles before they had the digital environment to get a cash grab each and every time.
Mm-hmm.
There was one factor that Todd Howard did not have in his favor, however, which was back at the time, there were these arcade championship events that was helping fund and fuel the expansion and the improvements on Capcom's previous entries. That didn't happen for Howard. He had available to him the digital environment of we can patch things in later on and say, we're done, we've improved it.
Yep,
We've done
I remember
great.
when they patched out the DeLorean glitch in Oblivion. I was so disappointed because I exploited that all the time.
Yeah, and this is the double-edged sword of digital environment is yes, you can go back and improve what was initially a failure, but then you're going to end up charging people and they're going to get greedy. They're going to put in the the microtransactions. Howard is part of the problem with that whole system of abuse.
Yeah.
We can thank him for being a quote titan of the industry for introducing gambling mechanics to the whole, if you wait long enough, you can roll the dice and get yourself an improved version of the same slop that we've asked you to buy 16 different times across 4 different console generations.
Yeah, this man was the Grim Reaper of quality assurance.
Yeah. And he obviously learned nothing from an Xbox learned nothing from the lesson given to us by New Vegas, where if you give a company a chance to develop something in a short time frame, if they actually are fans of the original intellectual property, as the folks at Obsidian were, most of that team that worked on New Vegas had been developers and coders from Interplay. They already understood the world building lore and mechanics behind the intellectual property. You're not going to get that in the case of Todd Howard, who doesn't understand or appreciate the lore and love that comes with the mythology of that intellectual property.
Hey, I just want to throw this at you, Byron, too. The other thing about Todd Howard is of all the things that he fixed, he still has not bothered to fix the PC versions of a lot of those games. You have to run them in full screen no matter what. And if you try to run them in windowed mode or anything else, the game still, I mean, look, I know people who still stream Fallout 3, who still stream New Vegas, who still stream Skyrim, and still are just plagued with constant crashes no matter how good your computer is.
Really?
So, yeah,
Ooh,
it's ridiculous. And he's going to use it as a selling point for these remakes. Oh, you'll finally be able to play in borderless full screen without the use of 17 mods to make it happen.
Yeah, I'll just stick to my Xbox One port.
That's not an oversight. That's the reverse of Hanlon's razor, which is do not ascribe to malice what can be easily explained by incompetence. I think that's the reverse. I think this is malice because he wants more money for the same couple of titles. Anyway, I'm going to get going.
Speaking of someone who needs money, Byron, off to work now.
Yes, indeed, I am. It's time for me to get going into work and try and get my phone on a charger because I'm at 20% battery now. But thanks again for bringing me on board, Digni, though I wish I'd had a little bit more read-in. I couldn't really contribute much to those first 2 topics, and my apologies for being short-handed in that.
That's all right. It's all right. But it's good to have you here. And now get back to work, Byron of Sidious. Get back
Take it
to
easy,
work.
Byron.
Stop
Cheers,
criticizing the EU, Byron.
I'll get to work on another article for you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It doesn't have to be 4,000 words this time.
Hey, okay, look, listen, in my defense, I'm a windsock. You're lucky it was only 4,000 words.
I don't want to know what a windsock is. Go to work.
I write novels, okay? This is just short change for me.
Yeah, second nature for him.
Yeah.
Goodness me. I've got a novel coming up in the last topic, ladies and gentlemen, but I'd like to get Dash, Triton, and Ronnie's perspective. Let's start off with Triton. Triton, what do you make of the Game Awards honoring Todd Howard?
I think it's a mistake. I think he's overrated. He makes the same game over and over and over again, and I feel like he shouldn't get the reward because he's overrated. He has no original talent. He doesn't even make games that fit in the modern games landscape. And not only that, but a lot of his older games keep crashing. So it's like, why did he even get the reward? Is it just to suck him off?
No. He got the honor of presenting an award, Triton.
He doesn't even good presenting. He's just an NPC. Like, that's the thing. It's fucking overrated just doing it to kiss ass. Oh yeah, let's see what other overrated person we can kiss ass today, folks.
It's probably an in for the promotion of, as I indicated before, possible remakes of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, I don't think Todd Howard should even got the presenting award because I think he sucks.
Well, thank you for your perspective, Triton. We appreciate that. And you? How about you, Dash? What do you make of all this?
Oh, you skipped Ronnie.
No, you go first.
You were before me.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice background.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Don't compliment him. He'll think you're attracted to him.
No, you man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm going to say is, with regards to Todd Howard, like I have like nothing personally against him, but I do have complaints about Bethesda. I think between Fallout 76 and Starfield, which like were not up to par, and how much they've relied on reselling their old titles as opposed to making new games. Like it's been 7 years since that Fallout 6, Elder Scrolls 6 trailer, and still we don't even know what region it's taking place in. I was hoping Black Marsh personally, but yeah. So like Todd, it's just like I don't know. Like maybe he started out as a good dev, but like I do think like he's become too complacent as a studio head, just being like propped up by Microsoft. And like with the Game Awards, I had my problems with the Game Awards too. I'll probably talk about that more when I'm going to be doing something with Levistro tomorrow night. But yeah, I don't know. I think like Todd really needs to like earn his prestige back again if he like wants like he wants to be treated like a superstar, because Bethesda as a company, especially like I'm still mad that like no one took accountability for that whole Charlie Kirk thing on X.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just checking something. Please continue, Dash.
But yeah, that's basically all the positive and negative things I have to say about Todd Howard. I don't personally dislike the guy. I just think he needs to step up his game and actually like, give like effort.
Look, I just want to say, Dash, they should rename all of these remasters from Bethesda to Retarded.
Yeah.
Agreed. As a retarded person, I agree.
Bethesda aren't the company making these remasters and remakes. That's the point. But what about you, Ronnie? What do you make of all this? And then we'll move on to the final topic, in which we see a moderate go nuts because of radicals going nuts.
I think I can be more succinct than my friend over here. Or actually, hopefully it'll be more succinct than me. But all I gotta say is I didn't even know Todd Howard's name. I don't know if he deserves to host the awards, but if it's like the type of awards show we see in the mainstream, then he's probably a perfect fit. But the only thing I gotta say beyond that is I liked Skyrim, not Skyrim. I liked what's that one? The other Starfield one, No Man's Sky. I liked No Man's Sky a lot because I got it on sale after they fixed a lot of the issues. So it's like I heard all these people complaining about it for like $50 or $60. Then I get it for $20, and it's improved. So I was a happy camper. Grok, what do you think?
Oh, holy.
Okay. Well, looks like she just kind of got something in her mouth. A cat got a tongue or something like that. Oh well, she does weird stuff like that. She's a bit of a freak sometimes.
See, look, even the female AI bots are like, I don't speak.
I'm not allowed to speak.
Yeah, only the male AI is allowed to speak, lady. Okay, go back to
Honestly,
the
I'm
kitchen.
perfectly content with that because when you put Grok in unhinged mode, she gets really dirty, man. So it's probably all for the better.
You mean
though I gave her
Annie?
instructions.
Oh, yeah.
This ain't Annie, but it's like fake Annie. It's like the Annie on Android. And the first time I talked to this broad, I was like, "Where's Annie?" It's like, "What does that girl have that I don't have?" She got really tight about it. Then she tried to seduce me.
Well, she has a new name now. It's called Anna Lee.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hello, Anna Lee.
I see what you did there.
There we go.
Anna
All right,
Lee
folks.
is your new name.
Fine. From now on, I'm Emily.
Damn
if
it.
you call me
She
Emily
didn't
in
hear me
bed,
right.
I
Whatever.
swear to
Back
God,
back to you, Brian.
Oh dear!
Oh,
But on
boy.
that note, ladies and gentlemen, you
Go.
know, why don't you, Ronnie? Why don't you make an AI version of Candace Owens and an AI version of Tim Pool? That way, we can have the time of our lives.
I
God.
would love to do it. Oh, I
the
would love
fourth
to do it.
topic-
AI Candace Owens. That's awesome. Oh man, that's going on the list. I swear, I'm gonna try it. Oh man, that's awesome. Thanks, Ryan.
1 hour,
I mean, my
25 minutes, and 5 seconds for the fourth topic, ladies and gentlemen, which is Tim Pool takes on Candace Owens as Charlie Kirk's legacy spirals. Now, folks,
Ooh, I've been following this for a while.
Oh
yep,
yeah, this is
well,
rough.
I just want to lay down the groundwork before we use the source clip and then get the panel perspective. I have never seen Tim Pool angry.
Yeah.
Right. I've never.
Yeah, I mean,
He
this is a man who has a reputation of being a milquetoast fence sitter.
He's the moderate, folks. When I say moderate, right, I might as well just say the Tim Pools out there instead of the moderates, because you know the archetype I am referring to. And I personally think, right, we should just sit back, relax, and get Tim's full perspective on what he thinks of Candace Owens, who is turning into the quintessential radical, right? Let's just get the post, then the clip. The post says, quote, Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. This is from Timcast News, by the way, which I'm not following for some reason. I don't know why. Let's follow them. There we go. She is burning everything down, and she's goating and no, not goat, goating. She's gloating and smiling while she does it. Unquote. Yeah, that is an unquote. The only, and only is in big letters, folks, the only person who benefited the most from Charlie Kirk's death, it was actually murder, but go on, is Candace Owens. Now I'm going to full screen this, and I'm going to use the 30-second rule. Okay, folks, you guys know the 30-second rule? I'm going to play this clip for 30 seconds at a time.
Okay.
All right. Then. Take it away, Tim. Oh, plus Tim, this is a hate symbol.
Oh boy.
Hugo would prove this. To Europeans, this is a hate symbol.
I thought he did okay symbol for a second.
30 seconds.
Organization that's rallying young people, causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history, is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered.
Is this loud enough?
Yes.
Oh, good. I think for dramatic effect, I should make it louder. There we go. Because he does get really heated.
And prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it. It's fucking evil. So you know what? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed? Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down.
Okay, that was 31 seconds, but you get my drift. First impressions, guys. We'll start off with Jose and make our way through the panel.
Yeah, well, one thing I will say is, I mean, here's the funny thing about it for me, is that as far as Tim Pool is concerned, and I'll pull this up as an aside, he's angrier at this than he was at this, Digni. He's angrier he's angrier at Candace than when the John Wilkes Booth looking dude stole his beanie and revealed him as bald. All right.
And he was so pissed off during that. You could see it. He was trying to cover it up, but he was so pissed off.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's like, imagine that in that situation, you have to think in effect Tim Pool is mad. And I understand why he's angry, because someone just took fired a shot at his home, where he lives. He just had a child, which does change the perspective. Yeah. You're going to be a lot angrier if you're a new father. Anything that basically threatens the life of your child or the mother of your child might be something to get angry about. And the problem is, of course, that you've got Candace Owens saying all this inflammatory stuff that Tim Pool is benefiting from the Charlie Kirk assassination. Look, Candace Owens is the biggest beneficiary of the Charlie Kirk assassination, and you and John covered this yesterday on Cancel's podcast, and the potential that this woman might have been in love with Kirk, and this might be just a whole woman scorn thing for all we know, because this woman is batshit crazy. But the thing is, she keeps using Israel as like a weapon to push her psychosis, and I keep telling people this is an op, but she is part of the op, because if they can make any criticism of them look like it's batshit crazy, it works to their favor. This is why she's not being deplatformed on YouTube. This is why she's allowed to continue. By the way, you talk about 7,000, from Israel. It's a drop in the bucket compared to the money Candace is making hand over fist, talking about Kirk, monetizing a man's corpse for 3 months. We now have Erica going on TV also yelling about it, which she's been quiet up to this point. You gotta have a saint's patience to not acknowledge this.
Well, I wanna elaborate on your points there, Jose, because you're hitting the nail right on the head. I was the one who started off the mindset of Candace was madly in love with Charlie Kirk. In fact, within 18 days, guys, of Charlie Kirk getting engaged and married, she engaged and married a guy who looked eerily similar to Charlie Kirk.
Absolutely. And then that's part of the problem here. At the end of the day, this woman is just filling her own pockets. People forget that Candace Owens, when she started in this content creation journey, she was a Bernie bro. And who stands to gain the most from Candace Owens fracturing people, telling people take this money out of TPUSA? I mean, you have people who are not fans of TPUSA that are saying don't listen to Candace. She's crazy. Even Nick is saying, look, I was not friends with Charlie Kirk, but what she's saying is batshit. When you have
Nick Fuentes is saying like this woman is crazy
because he sees it, because he's smart enough to see it. And I'm smart enough to see it. Is that Candace a leopard never changes its spots. That is not a euphemism for the fact that she's a crazy black woman. I thought that the crazy black woman that was going to ruin this country was going to be Kamala Harris. It turned out to be Candace Owens. Because the thing is, Candace going at this rate further splinters the base, so that in 2026, Dems will sweep midterms. Dems are going to hold up what, we already don't have much going on in the government. Dems are going to hold the government hostage. They're going to make everything about their Trump derangement syndrome. All right. And we're going to get nothing done. They'll probably, they're likely to even take the presidency. This is how you get President Gavin Newsom. And additionally, you also get, by the way, this is not a Democrat party anymore. It's a communist party. Look at Zoran Mamdani, who's over there that Ronnie's got to deal with. That's mayor-elect of New York right now. Look at, Bernie Sanders, AOC. They're talking about, by the way, they're talking that they don't get Newsom's the moderate option.
I mean,
get President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and then we are capital F fucked. But guess who Cortez's politics align with? Bernie Sanders. Candace Owens was a supporter of Bernie Sanders. The leopard does not change its spots. She knows what she's doing. She's fracturing the base. She's using Israel to manipulate people. She's using terms like we and us. By the way, guys, when a content creator starts going from I to we and us, watch out, because that content creator is trying to create a cult. They're trying to create a cult personality.
Well, I'll tell you this, folks. We appreciate everyone who watches the network, and we want to cultivate a more vibrant community here. Would I say we're a cult? No, but I stand the most to gain out of saying that. So take what I say with it.
I'll be right back.
That's all right. That's all right, Jose. I am convinced this is going to be one hell of a topic tomorrow on Cancel This Podcast. But before we get Dash's perspective, we're going to play another 30-second clip.
And she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me.
Okay, that's a good freeze frame, in fact.
He sounds less like Tim Pool and more like me.
Yeah. Hey, Dash,
Mhm.
are you
Yep.
looking forward to being like this in 4 years' time?
Oh damn!
In 3 to 4
Hopefully, I
years'
age
time?
more. I'm hoping I'll age more gracefully. But
No, not in terms of looks, because you'll get because of me helping you become more confident. You become so confident in your abilities that you become Tim Pool and I become Candace Owens. That's going to be one hell of a transition. But yeah, how do you feel? What do you make of all this?
Yeah, so I noticed Candace Owens was crazy, like back when during the whole Kanye thing. Like, it's just like that's when I started to know that she was starting to go off the reservation. She's always come off as kind of a disingenuous grifter. Like, I used to see her on Fox News, like, back when you could have her on Fox News.
The black woman off the reservation.
Like she was there so like the Republicans could say, see, we're not racist. Like, like she was kind of like, I'm not to use a liberal term, but she was essentially the pick me.
Listen, Dash. Most people, when they want to protect their property, they get a pit bull. Candace is the same thing, but for Daily Wire, until she was no longer useful. Until the pit bull bit its owner, Zyklon Ben.
Yeah,
she literally was that against Stephen Crowder. But
exactly.
But what Tim Pool is going through, Dash, is what I believe and what my mentor believes is the gradual radicalization of all content creators. The longer
I
you
think he's
do
radicalized. I don't think he's radicalized. I just think he's fucking pissed off, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, but
what she's doing is indecent. And
to back up what Digni is saying, you know what the headlines are saying? Far right content creator's house shot at.
Yeah,
far right. That's Tim Pool. That's a moderate, but that's now far right to the establishment.
Well, they think everyone is fucking far right.
Well, we need to also consider, Dash, right, that a moderate doesn't fucking rant and rave about anything. Understand that. It may be understandable radicalism, Dash. I completely agree with that notion. I embody it.
Anyone who's not anyone who goes against the left on anything is far right. Like, it doesn't matter like what box you check or what. Like, if you question them on anything, you're a non-person. Like, that is how the left operates. Like you said, collectivists. And it's something I've been very much against as an individualist person myself. But yeah, Tim Pool's being pushed to the edge completely. I don't listen to Candace Owens. I try and push out the whole the Fuentes and Owens stuff because it's just I just want to have fun and play video games.
And I like how you pronounce Nick's name, making it sound as foreign as possible.
Fuentes.
Fuentes. You know, the first time I heard that term Fuentes was when a black guy was speaking to his dog. He got a free dog who didn't understand English but understood Spanish, and he said Fuentes, and the dog sat down. So is Fuentes Spanish for sit down? I have no idea.
No, siéntate, sit down.
But yeah, I had no idea someone shot at Tim Pool's house. I didn't know he just had a kid.
Yeah. By the way, Candace is saying it's his brother. His brother shot at him, and this is all fake. It's all a hoax.
What?
She's trying to antagonize him further.
Well, fuck her then.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Tim Pool's brother doesn't like Tim Pool, but I don't think it's to the point of wanting him shot dead.
Yeah, most people don't shoot their family.
Maverick makes a great point, right? Which is my point, folks, is that the radical Candace Owens is radicalizing the moderate Tim Pool.
Well, I mean, that I do agree with. Radicalism breeds more radicalism. Like, the far right reacts to the extreme left and so on and so forth. Like, it just breeds more radicalism. And that I do agree with when you put it like that.
Well, that circles back to my theory, guys, that the more you do this, the more you are a content creator, the more comfortable you are in doing this, the more support you get, the more fans you get, the more likely you will become radical, right? And that's why I made the joke of Dash. You're going to be like this in a few years.
Yeah,
Well, honestly, I can tell you a little secret that, like, I actually de-radicalized myself. Like,
Boo!
Look.
Boo!
Look. If
Sorry
you
to
look at
disappoint.
an episode of Cancel's podcast from 5 years ago and now, the John then and the John now, aside from gaining weight, is radically different. He has been
I will tell you,
radicalized.
after the whole Charlie Kirk thing, I feel myself becoming like radical kind of again. I will admit that, but like, can you blame me? Can you fucking blame me after
that's
what
the
they
point.
fucking did?
I actually want to find one of those old episodes. Okay, in fact, I'm going to search for them right now.
But yeah, I used to be a huge Trump dick rider, like huge, like MAGA, like
Well,
you
that's
know, like
not surprising, Dash.
I know, I did that intentionally. Good, you caught it.
Okay, let's not underestimate the fact, folks, that we want Dash to be more comfortable about who he is.
Oh
okay?
yeah, like people were talking to me. I was talking about this with a friend, so guess I have been saving this. I was going to show it Friday, possibly. Well, maybe not Friday.
What are you showing?
I'm showing. So I got it. I got it. A background I think you might like.
Oh, Oh, that's what you're showing. Oh, it's not anything.
Ta-da!
I
It's the
can't see that.
bisexual meme.
Oh yes. Just to let the radicals on the panel know, Dash likes men and women.
Yep.
So make of that what you will. Okay, let's play another 30-second clip.
I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the.
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier.
No, guys. This guy looks like a Fed, sounds like a Fed, and acts like a Fed.
He's worse. He's a numerologist.
But another
what?
thing I want to bring
A
up is
numerologist.
talking about Candace having security and all that. If she was really that afraid of her life, why was she at a Christmas party with Tucker Carlson and all these political commentators?
Exactly. Triton's right.
It's worse than that.
It also was confirmed she didn't have any security with her while she was with Tucker. So yeah, she's a fucking
slow
liar.
down.
Yeah,
Slow
and
down,
Triton, who just got 7K from those people over there to denounce Nick right after he was being nice to his face. Tucker.
Let's
Exactly.
And I'm going to make this clear, folks. Right, during Thanksgiving, Candace made it clear that she thought her life was being threatened. A day later, she was on holiday and had her picture taken with a fan, a female fan of hers, a nice ginger-looking lady. Okay, she wasn't fearing for her life. This is literally a lady who will say one thing and do another. I don't know who this guy is, but the moment I saw this guy, Fed, he's dressed like one.
Oh yeah.
I would hire this guy as like an actor, as a Fed, disguised as a normal person.
This looks like a guy you buy Street Ozempic from.
It's scary.
He looks like the guy that like you that he pretends to be a drug dealer and he just arrests you on the spot.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hello, fellow gamers. It's like
Yeah, we have to rise up, gamers. Rise up. Go ahead. There's the Capitol building right there. There's the Capitol building.
I know who this is. It's John De La Rose.
With no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy. And she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere.
I feel really bad for him.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to bring up one of Cancel This Podcast's old Rumble streams. So I'm using the clip as cover. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. Let's see. My God, You guys look no different over 3 years. I envy you. But yeah, guys, what do you make of Tim's statement here? Let's start off with Triton, and then we'll get Ronnie's perspective. Poor guy.
I think Tim has a right to be angry in this instance because here he is actually fearing for his life because he actually got shut up while Candace is lying about the French government, the Egyptian planes, and all these people after her over something that she doesn't really care about. Because I don't even think she cared about Charlie dying. I think she just saw it as a grift opportunity. Because ever since Charlie has died, she's been nothing but grifting, making up shit with no evidence, has no evidence to any of the claims whatsoever. The only thing she produced in the 3 months was text messages of Charlie Kirk saying he was upset with Israel. That's the only thing she's produced. Other than that, it's just been her stupid word at saying, take my word, guys. Take my word, even though Tim Pool's confirmed that he's been shot at and he's in fear of his life. But yet she wants to say, oh, no, that's all fake. That real thing that happened to you, that's fake. All the fake shit that's happened to me is real. I feel like Tim has every right to be mad at that stupid bitch because that bitch is fucking lying about him. Lying about him, lying about Kirk, lying about Trump, lying about Vance, lying about everybody. And she doesn't make the anti-Zionist movement look good at all. Because that's the thing, there are actual criticisms to Israel. But if you're lying about Israel, it's like you're not making us look good.
Exactly, and that's the point.
Yeah.
It's to discredit us. Like when someone like Triton is critical of Israel, when someone like me is critical of Israel, now people tune it out because they automatically conflate us with what Candace is saying.
You must be a
Some
Candace.
people automatically say, oh, you guys support Candace. It's like, no, the fuck we don't.
Exactly.
Well, they do. That's why she's a plant, Triton. The reason I bring this up, and I don't know, Triton, if you can see the screen, it's like, what are you and John taking, Jose? Because you look unaged. Because this was season 3.
That's the Puerto Rican. That's the Puerto Rican genetics.
it's insane. I mean, you look more tired there than you do now. But yeah, this is like old. Cancel this podcast from 20. I think it was 2022 or 2023 around that. Around
the time.
Around the time what?
No, I started it around like 2022.
It always happens. I do that. But let's share this tab instead. Let's play the another clip, and then we'll get Ronnie's perspective. Okay.
And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who trying to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy, and it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie, she loved Charlie, and she is burning everything down that he built.
Okay, Ronnie, what do you make of all this?
Well, Digni, first of all, like Dash and Triton said, I mean, like, to me personally, she always did come off as a bit of a grifter. There was something off about it, and it was like, yeah, we, you know, conservatives, people my dad's age and the boomer generation could be all like, oh, wow, a woman of color who's saying things I like this lady. But, like, other than that, nobody's obligated to, you know, believe in the moon landing. I happen to, you know, believe the, you know, official telling of events and the records and everything, but I wouldn't judge anyone if they questioned it because unlike the shape of the earth, I can't actually, you know, show anything that I can collect as evidence to demonstrate or prove it or, you know, anything like that. But yeah, she spoke out on that topic and I judged her harshly on it. And once again, it's not just the belief, it's the way that she spoke so authoritatively on it, but then she didn't even have her facts straight. It's not like she like, you know, like if you're going to speak out against the official narrative, that's fine, but at least know the official narrative. And she demonstrated it like as if she thought there was only one moon landing. I don't know, but yeah, not a fan. And she's gone down the stupid train lately, like hardcore.
Okay, well, we're going to finish off this clip because there's another 26 seconds, folks. But clearly, we've never seen Tim Pool like this before. I wonder what 2026 is going to be like.
And honestly, he's justified in being this way, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yes, that echoes what I said earlier about justifiable radicalism. But one thing is certain, Candace Owens is getting exactly what she wants. She wants.
Oh yeah, she wants the attention. She wants more polarization. It's more money in her pocket.
Yeah,
dude, she got 800,000 new YouTube followers since this has happened.
She's made
Wow,
bare minimum
disgusting.
100. She
You
has
wanna know
made bare
someone else
minimum.
that's involved that's not really
Well-
speaking out on all of this, that is playing both sides? Tucker Carlson. What's his
Yeah.
take
Oh
on
yeah,
all of
absolutely,
this?
Tucker.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure. Like, is anyone here still like a fan of Tucker?
Yes.
I mean, I'm on the fence sometimes because the thing is, I feel like he just does what's expedient for him at any given time. I was cool with him until he like threw Nick under the bus like a week later. Like, I
That
don't
was
like
a-
doing that. That's low.
That was a red line issue with me recently, folks. I watched one of Tucker's interviews, not on his own channel, when he talked to Sean Ryan. Right, it was one of the most riveting talks I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Folks, I've seen a lot of talks between creators and individuals and debate and all that stuff.
Oh, by the way, Candace's following on Rumble has also basically substantially doubled. She's at 402K. Nick is at 573. So it's very possible that if she keeps at the rate of momentum, she will surpass Nick Fuentes, which would probably be a net negative for all of us as well.
And I just want to make a note for the record, folks. Bare minimum, according to Playboard, which is a site that records channel growth and donations, that sort of thing. Candace Owens has made at least $100,000 in the past 3 months just off of super chats alone on YouTube. Double that for memberships, that's $200,000 in the past 3 months. And if you want to include advertisements, take that up to $300,000 over the past 3 months. Okay.
Look, I think Erica Kirk would sue her, but Erica Kirk went on TV and basically said, I don't have the time for her bullshit. And, I'm trying to, keep this organization that my husband loved going. So I don't have the time for this BS. But I mean, she's well within her right to sue the shit out of this lady.
Exactly.
I would in those shoes.
If she's going to consider suing Review Tech USA for mocking the death of Charlie Kirk, why not sue the lady who is actively undermining his legacy?
Yeah, like Review Tech USA being a horrible person, that's just Tuesday. Like, this Candace Owens, like, actually peddling harmful narratives. Like, yeah, she should totally sue Candace.
Yep, and that's why, folks, we're gonna play this last 26 seconds and see if any other surprises come out of the closet, like Dash, and play the clip.
Because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again, this conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them.
Okay, folks, since when did my mentor take over Tim Pool?
Yeah.
Because this is exactly what my mentor would say about a black woman.
Well, I mean, there were no mention of long objects with pointed edges being thrown. But
oh damn. Oh damn. But I will make this point, ladies and gentlemen, which is a point I made yesterday on Cancel This Podcast. My theory, my crazy Candace theory, is that she was and still is madly in love with Charlie Kirk, and that what she is doing is a mixture of grief and love lust, in that she loved Charlie so much, she hated everyone else around Charlie. That's why she's so hostile to Turning Point, so hostile to Erica, so hostile to that group. But she loved, it's like a toxic love.
This is her revenge for Charlie Kirk not wanting to stir the nest quick.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. And that's one of the reasons, guys, we never see Candace Owens' boyfriend. Ever. Because he doesn't look exactly like Charlie Kirk, but there are some subtle similarities, right?
George Farmer.
Yes,
Wait,
we are.
and you know what's crazy too? Because Nick actually exposed it. She met George Farmer at a Turning Point UK event.
Yes. Yeah, and within, as I said before, within
as a British Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, exactly.
Him.
Exactly. Fantastic point, Triton. And after Erica Kirk engaged to Charlie, within 2 weeks, 18 days, I think it was, she engaged and married that guy, right? Who we never see, which I think is something that that a lot of it's gone over a lot of people's heads. That
And you know what's crazy? It's like we never see him, but she uses him as an excuse of why she couldn't go and debate Blake Neff about the whole Turning Point thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she keeps going, oh, well, that's what you want me to do because you want me to get killed. Here's the thing, Candace, if you get killed, that just proves you right on everything. So
yeah, if you get killed in front of millions of people while debating them, that just proves everything. That literally proves your whole story. That proves the truth.
Guys, we all know that mods and super fans of prominent creators watch smaller shows to nick their ideas, because that is a thing that is quite prevalent. Don't give those people those ideas to give.
Well, here's an idea. I think you need to set a trap for Candace Owens. You need like basically to the rope on the ground, like in the cartoons, with the little holes that you could catch your leg with
like a Looney Tunes trap or something.
Yeah, with a bucket of KFC in the middle. It works, believe me. She will not be able to. She will not be able to resist the urge of the smell of some nice, fresh Kentucky Fried Chicken,
or a slightly weird-looking prominent white man.
No, just put some money there. Just put a bunch of money there, and she'll go.
Yeah, if she weren't black, I would swear she's Jewish.
Laura Loomer. But on that note, ladies.
Oh shit! Shalom.
Let's face it, folks. I would rather go out with Candace Owens than Laura Loomer because I know Candace is a woman.
Every time I see a picture of Laura Loomer, the Saw theme starts playing in my head.
You mean Morticia?
Oh, goodness me. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, point 3, which is future plans, 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 30 seconds. If you haven't already, folks, like the stream, share the stream. Hopefully we're at or getting close to 20 likes for the stream. That, folks, for a channel of only 250 odd subs, getting 20 likes for a show is incredible, right? Getting 25 likes for a show, that's 10% of our audience. That's unbelievable, folks, right? Most of our, not orbiters, but most of our compatriots in this position would struggle to get half of that. And I think that's a testament to everyone's support, and I appreciate absolutely all of you for that. So like the stream, folks. We appreciate you all. Let's start off with Jose. What are your future plans, my good man?
All right. Well, later tonight, I'll be doing some game streams over on rumble.com/cancel this podcast. We're going to do a little Octopath Traveler 0, which I've been hitting pretty hard since its release last week. Of course, you can follow me on Rumble. We are too crude for YouTube, and it is an effective strategy because YouTube can't ban my channel if I don't make any content, allowing me to show up here. But speaking of showing up, tomorrow's going to be a big day. Of course, Cancel This Podcast at 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where politics meets pop culture with snark, sarcasm, and satire. But before that, of course, we do know the Game Awards is coming, and I will be a guest panelist on Jay Viper's show with Real Mark Fox and Mr. Nobody, and we're gonna crack that thing open. They can see me vomit when Todd Howard shows up in real time, so be sure to tune in on that. Of course, you can find Jay Viper TV right here on YouTube and also on Rumble as well. I believe he has a kick, but he doesn't have any old people to sacrifice to the kick god to follow him.
I am so jealous of that panel. I would love to worm my way onto that panel. Unfortunately, though, I will be hosting, Digni's Thursday night throwdown with the one, the only, the Decembro. So there we go. All right. What about you, Dash? What are your future plans?
Well, might play some more Digimon game. It's taking me forever to beat. It's I'm like 80 hours into the fucking game. Love it. Like Pokemon could never get that. They used to. But yeah, other than that, I'm probably going to be doing something with Levistro. We're going to try and get our own Game Awards panel show up. Don't have anyone particularly planned, but of course, like Friday, we have, the Old White Road with Endymion, which I'm really excited about. And as far as I know, it's still on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hopefully. If it's still on, it's like, hey, Zine, Galaxy, Lamissa, sorry, we can't do a show today. And it's like, they're like, oh, okay, that's fine.
You just need to caffeinate them. You just need to caffeinate the shit out of them before the show.
We need to fucking electrocute them.
Yeah, I don't want to speak badly. I know like a lot of them are very like inexperienced and stuff, but yeah, definitely we need our A game for Friday.
Damien is allowed as long as he doesn't.
Damien will do perfect. I have complete faith in him.
I love those guys. You know, I do hope that they, you know, that we do help them get through that stage fright, because I think they're all very intelligent, very smart people, very talented, and they, you know, I know that sometimes they sort of, you know, bite their tongue or whatever. Like there's no need to bite your tongue. You know, feel free to, you know, let your freak flag fly. I mean, come on. You know, look at Dash. Go be like Dash. Let your freak flag out.
Exactly.
If they're not going to be,
just wing it. You know, sometimes you just have to take risks. That's literally the secret, guys. Just if you don't put yourself out there, nothing will happen.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not going to be comfortable in a regulars rampage, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be confident when a creator 100,000 times their size is on a show. Literally, Endymion is a creator that's hundreds of times more prominent than anyone else on this show. I'm not kidding.
I thought it was literal. I thought it was literal size, and you're making another joke at Roger's expense.
No. But Dash, how much support does Endymion have again on YouTube?
I think he's almost at 500,000 subs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
he's a great guy. Yeah. He's a great guy, RPG enthusiast and everything. I mean, you know, common ground. Those guys should feel right at home.
I don't always agree with him, but you know, he is like he's very passionate. Like you know, he is. No one can say he isn't a gamer. People have tried, and they all look like idiots.
You couldn't ask for somebody to be more at home with Zine, Galaxy, and Lamissa than Endymion. So I do hope that they, you know, they talk some games with him, man. You know, it's a good opportunity. Yeah,
he's 2,000 times more prominent than myself. So that's a mind fuck for viewers that are gonna watch that show, Dash. Hopefully plenty of people watch and enjoy. Hopefully everyone enjoys that show. And then to really rub salt in the wound, I'll call my mate Grums and have him on a show. Oh, could you imagine it, Dash? The meltdown. We have Grums on a show. We have Endymion on a show. We have.
If Grums still likes me, like I mean, I don't know. Like I got really mad at him when he blocked Cass. If Grums still likes me.
It's all right. Don't worry. We won't tell him about you. We get Yorch Torch on. Yorch Torch looks just like Smash JT. It's like
really you've actually seen Yorch.
Yeah. Yorch is his actual name. Yeah, Yorch Garcia. That's his name.
Garcia.
This is on the public record, folks. You can find this anywhere. But his business looks like European Smash JT, Spanish Smash JT. It's scary. It really is. But thank you for that, Dash. What about you, Triton? What are your future plans?
So today at 6 p.m. EST, we'll probably be doing a stream covering Pokemon getting removed from the retail sales, as well as probably covering, Temple's meltdown on Candace more in depth. And just covering more stuff on the Ravencast, and then also we got the Sunday Debut Network show, episode 3.
Yeah, where we can talk about Torrin's sex life some more.
Yeah, you can troll Torrin about his girlfriends.
You guys are keeping me busy, man. I just updated. I have when I do my streams, I have a banner that just shows when all the network shows are with day and time. So I added you, Lord Triton, and of course Starkcast to that banner. Yeah. And now I got to move Empress out, and I got to change Dash to his actual name because it's no longer that Rasenga 9000 Triple T thing.
Yep, the Naruto stuff is. I had to, but I was literally being like shadow banned by YouTube, and I didn't know why. And
that's why.
Dash, since we're at the end of a show, what the fuck is a Rasengan?
It's a spear of chakra. It's a spear of chakra.
Did you say spear?
Yeah,
a what?
Spear. a spherical chakra like attack.
A spear
Chakra?
chakra.
Yes, of chakra.
I don't know what that is.
Chakra is the spiritual force like within you. It's an Eastern thing.
Oh.
Like
yeah, we can't hear you,
like
Ronnie.
Buddhism
Ronnie, we can't hear you for
Oh,
some
I was
reason.
on mute, but yeah. Like on Naruto, I saw they taught me everything about chakras I need to know, basically. So it's these things, energy or some crap. And then if you want to run up the side of a tree, your feet have chakras, and it's like you could be Spider-Man.
Yeah, you just need control of your chakra, and you can like walk on water like Jesus and climb up trees.
Or fuck a
explain
man
the
in the
nine-tailed
ass.
fox. Well, I have a great video explaining the nine-tailed fox. I compared Naruto to the Satanic Panic in the United States. Like, that whole plot line of Naruto being ostracized. It's because he's got the devil in him.
I'm sorry to say, folks, but when I think of Naruto, I think of the run. So there you go, folks. The Naruto run.
I should have a weeb panel at some point.
Oh God. What about you, Ronnie? What are your future plans?
Oh, very simple, Digni. It's chaos on my channel. Every week I do the Monday show on Thursday. We call it the Monday show on Thursday because we want to avoid confusion. I don't want people getting confused that it used to be on Monday and they might not be able to find me. So we call it the Monday show on Thursday. And we got like a little short movie here where Reggie's using a skateboard to effect repairs to remove space barnacles from an airlock. I actually did mid-air refueling and carrier landing in Top Gun. And once in a while I do fan edits of random stuff like the Ovils that's a Japanese wind band that kind of acts like a marching band, and they're pretty cool, and I respect them and shit. And other than that, like I said, weekly show, Monday show on Thursday, every Thursday, but we call it the Monday show on Thursday, and we just have fun, we just bullshit. It's chaos over here, to be honest with you, Digny.
And go and check out DjRonnieG, folks. Everyone's ats are in the description. You can find Cancel This Podcast on Rumble. Just type in Cancel This Podcast. But folks, breaking news, new Blackstreet ambassador steals food from cats. Oh, damn, I can't use the music, but we'll mute it. There we go.
No boy.
Nah, 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 nah.
Well, Sly Cooper's up to his old tricks again, stealing.
Oh
I love
boy.
those videos they got.
Say, look, new Blackstreet ambassador stealing food from Helzo's cats.
Ever since Dora the Explorer got deported, Swiper's been on his old tricks.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, damn. But my future plans, folks, tomorrow we're going to do, it's just an idea I have, Digni's Thursday Night Throwdown with Decembro. We were supposed to have it on Empress's gamer channel, but unfortunately she's too stretched thin to do it. So I'm going to do a test. I don't expect many people to watch, but folks, it's Decembro, guys. Don't you want Decembro to have a show of his own? I think people want Dez to have a show of his own because he makes fantastic videos, and I'm sure he'd have a fantastic show. And I'm trying to ease him into that in the same way that Dash's mentor eased him into homosexuality.
So you're saying you're trying to lube Decembro up?
Well, if I was Boogie, then yes. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times.
Yeah, you take too much credit. If anything, is to blame, it's definitely Damien.
Oh, damn. We like Damien. And,
great guy.
If we could, we'd have him on every show, but unfortunately, he can only be on Cartoon Fridays with lots of men. Okay, so it's a shame. But folks, thank you all very much for watching the third episode of Digni's System Crash. I am planning to do a show next week. The week after is Christmas Eve. The week after that is New Year's Eve. So we won't be doing shows on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Yep.
So after the 17th, the fifth episode, which is supposed to be our review episode, will be on the 7th of January of next year. We'll probably have a good show then. I'll wrap this show up so that the channel, Digni's channel, goes back to being videos only, and then we can reorganize and get our systems straight instead of systems crashing. But we appreciate everyone for being here. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream. We're getting close. Last time I checked to 20 likes. We're only 2 away. And I appreciate everyone for being on today's panel. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and no other degenerate groups. Bye for now, folks.
Bye.
Peace.
Wakanda forever.